So, how does a business owner attract more A players to lift the team up?
I believe that's the hardest question, and no one has the answer. Why? Because if you have the A players know their value, and they obviously expect to be paid proportionally, which will show the other people not being that valuable. So the balance has to be not in the favor of the A player. But once you get the compensation in a different way, which fits how you expect to be compensated, then there is an option to play around, keep the A players, help the others to raise as well, to lift them and show, because sometimes it could happen that the A player comes in, because that's how it happened with me when I was changing some jobs within the last years when I was new in the country. I would show them the easiest way to do the simple things. And I was surprised that they didn't know that. So I
Mm.
already showed them, even if I don't continue, the company already benefited from having the A player. So don't, first of all, never be scared to take the A player, even if you know that they are temporary, because they will raise the productivity and they will help to lift the others as well, and then establish the higher let's say the bar, to lift the bar, and then you continue from there. It's already higher productivity.
Got
uh,
it.
you cannot keep the A player. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. You have to be fine with both, because the company still needs to work. The company still needs to benefit, whether the A player stays or no. So you just learn whatever the A player has to offer, and then see whether it works for both of you or no. Don't complicate neither way.
So what you're saying is that the compensation is what attracts them, but to keep them, even though that they're only a short term, could possibly be a short term employee because they're still going to benefit the company, right?
So the compensation is not always material compensation,
Sure.
because every single person has very different way of being compensated that meets their needs. You have to learn what's the need of the person.
Of
And
course.
then you have to find out the way whether you can compensate that or you cannot compensate.
Sure.
But I would encourage any single person, because that's the problem of many businesses. Let's call it many businesses. They are scared of A players because they think that A player will disbalance the culture, because they will come, they will not stay for long enough, and they would leave. But even if the A player is not toxic, because that's very important, the A player can be toxic, or the A player can be really the perfect fit for the culture, then you will only benefit. Go for it. There are so many tiny things that you learn while you enter the company, and you start to see completely different picture, and you are like, okay, this can be done this way, this can be done this way, this can be done this way. So just take whatever comes and see what you can do, because if somebody gives you a gift, you don't throw the gift. You take the gift and you decide what you can do with the gift. Sometimes the gift could be, let's say, not very useful at that particular moment, but down the road you can come to the point to be, oh, let's wait. And we all have that. Like, we have the gifts from several years, like, and we come to the point and you are like, oh, I have that. So you go to the shelf and take it from the shelf and use it. Learn as much as you can, and then see where you can apply, because everything can be modified. Even the tiny things that the person or anything was developed for this thing, it doesn't mean that it can fit only here. You can modify, change, and apply in different way, and benefit like crazy. That's the
Mm.
beauty of being adjustable and coachable. it's not only people who join the company needs to be coachable. Business owners who want to benefit, if they are a little bit open to see the vision of the other person, they can benefit like
So
crazy.
you think business owners are afraid to bring on their A players because they might be too good for them, or they don't have the compensation ability?
Um, for each business owner, it could be different,
Of course.
but it could be everything. But mostly the A players, they are scared that they will not stay long enough, because in the very beginning, when you have the A player, you feel that it's a A player, but you need to spend the time and the money to train them to come to the point to do the proper job.
Which honestly is quite an expense. That's why I'm thinking, you're saying that take them anyways, right? And glean what you can from this A player in your business. And then if they need to move on, they need to move on. But the cost of hiring a business, as a business, the cost of hiring an employee is equivalent to 6 months or a year's worth of salary just in training and offsetting and getting them onboarded. And if you're expending this extra money to onboard somebody who may not stay long within your company, that's a huge investment to let come in for a shorter term employee.
It depends. First of all, you also learn, because next time,
Right, but I'm not necessarily hiring somebody in my company to learn from them. I would hire a coach. I wouldn't necessarily hire an A player to learn a lot from them that would be worth an additional year or 6 months worth of salary for that. So I was thinking when the conversation initially started that this A player would come in and help lift and rise all boats, right? So they would cause the team itself to want to be bigger and better and stronger. But then there's always those that are sitting on the sideline going, wait a minute, and having that balance. And I think when we're talking about the toxicity, that's probably the toxicity. But I wasn't thinking of bringing an A player into a company. And I don't know many business owners that would bring an A player into the company to learn from them unless it's a C-suite level opportunity where it's more of a structure. Um, is that your definition of an A player? Would be somebody that would be working along lines with team members, or would it be someone along the lines of a C-suite? I guess now I'm confused about your A player definition.
it doesn't mean that you are preparing somebody for the C-suite. No, it's any type of the A player. And what I meant by learning from the A player, it's also how you can keep the A player. Because if you never hire the A player, how you can learn how to keep them? Because we are always scared of unknown, so um, we stop the possibility simply because we think that down the road they will quit. We assume that they might. So if you never hire the A player, what are the chances that you will learn how you can keep the A player? Because the A player might really like the culture and stay. The A player are not that scary. If you have something to offer and you see that the compensation, so-called, fits the needs of the A player, then how you are going to learn how to keep the A player if you just refuse every single time, scared that you cannot keep them? It's not always about the coach, because the coach has one vision. You can never learn different visions. And I don't encourage people to bring any single A player simply just only to give a nudge to the culture. That's not very healthy as well. I mean, you need to find the balance, and excluding to bring the A player to your team, especially if you feel that there is a perfect fit as a culture, you should not say no simply because you see that there is a potential. Because so many people stay for the culture, and you would be amazed if you like the culture at the end of the day. If you can make a little bit more in different environment, but you hate your place and you don't want to invest your time or your potential versus somewhere where it's really family like, where you support the company and you see yourself to grow with the company. So you have to see what is on the plate and then decide, is it a good fit for your company at that particular moment, or it's a wrong. So that's what you need to learn. But unless you start to take from time to time the A player, you will never learn that, because you would just refuse them simply because you think that they are leaving.
Okay. Okay. Or overqualified.